Welcome back. We are live.
It's alive.
It's alive. Welcome back.
We really need to get Victoria to get like us an intro song or something.
It's true. Victoria, if you can hear this through the wall, you need to edit us an intro. Join us live on YouTube. Click like and subscribe. All right. Just right beside them. Yeah. So we are back. The average homies of Sigmar. It's been a few weeks. Mostly my fault. As the guy who holds all the technical keys, I guess. When I get sent on a task, it just kind of slows to a crawl. Yeah, I was off in the USA for work. Now I'm back in great old Canada for not work for the next 2 weeks. And yeah. So that's really why we haven't been on the air that much.
I suppose, the entire blame shouldn't rest on your shoulders. I mean, like, if I could just not be old and learn how to do this stuff, then, Ed and I could continue.
It's true. Can you teach an old dog new tricks next episode?
Oh. Let Matt take over and see how badly we messed things up.
Yeah. So we've been gone for 2 weeks, but in that 2 weeks, like I said, I've been working, but now I'm off. And this week I've been doing, honestly, a little bit of AOS, like a lot of TTS and AOS, not a lot of modeling, because I was waiting for the data slate to drop, and I'm still in between two armies for GW Open, which we'll talk about when we get through the show. But that's about it for my last couple of weeks. What have you been up to?
My last couple of weeks, I went to a quote unquote small tournament. It was an RTT at Enter the Battlefield. I think we had 18 players. And I brought the list that I'm like so quickly falling in love with. And I went 2-1. I ended up getting 4th. And I was really surprised by that. I played against Sean Bruff, who ended up using my OBR models against me, but he used the Army of Renown for like the Pony Club, and like full caveat in one or disclosure, one of the turns he had said he's like, I shouldn't do this, and I was like, well, like, take it back, like, I'm not worried. And he says, no, we're stress testing, I want to see what happens. And it turned out that what he had done, which was a full send against my army, it didn't work for him. And he ended up, I guess it was, we rolled for priority for turn 4, and he's basically like, if I don't get the double, like, that's it, the game is over. And he didn't win priority and basically said, let's just talk out the last 2 turns. Which I felt kind of like if he had have played it, I think he could have scraped together more points. I think there was still some play left, but I think he was just sort of maybe disappointed in how the game had played out, even though he put himself into that situation and called it on top of that. So like, Sean is a highly skilled player. He's in the top, I think, 5 for Canada. I think he's 3rd in Canada. It was a good win, but it wasn't the win that you like go, yes, I beat him. It was he beat himself. So yeah, and then I played against the Feck Monster Mash, and that was actually a really close game. There was one turn that I had 3 Demon Princes that all rolled Snake Eyes for their charges, like back-to-back Snake Eyes for 3 Demon Princes, and but it was still, I think, a 68-65 game that Dylan ended up winning. And then I played in my last round, I played against the G, and it's just a terrible. It's a terrible matchup for him.
I feel for him.
He's playing Helmsmith. He had a really cool list. I really liked his list. He was running Uruk Tar and a Demon Smith on Taurus.
Yep.
So he was running double big bow, and like, he played well, but it was just my army just it preys on armies like that. And we were playing that there was, I think, 4 places of power.
Mhm.
And I was able to basically just turn stuff into obscuring. I was like, you got to come get me, bro. Yeah, he had, and like the dice were not in his favor on top of that. Like he had a 5-inch counter charge with the Demon Smith on Bull that he failed. And that subsequently allowed me to pick up his Bull unit, like his centaurs. And then like it just snowballed. It was bad. But yeah, it was we got it was good. It was a good tournament. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, great result for you. We'll never see that effect list again in its current format. May it never be risen again.
Rip, thank God.
Yep. And on a more personal note, you got 121 points out of that, and that drug us near the top 20 as the Alpha Strike homies.
Yeah. When it posted, I think it put me like 13th in Canada. I think I'm 15th now, 15th or 16th.
I'm checking
in Canada,
now.
which
Sean's number 2 in Canada, by the way.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah, he's an excellent player. I'm pretty sure him and Shada, his partner, are coming out to the Edmonton Open as well. And
you were currently sitting at 18th in Canada.
18th in Canada.
All you need to do is go one more event and get because you're currently. I'm looking at your stats right now.
Yep.
You've currently got the team's tournament counting as a point.
Right. Yeah.
So get an average result at the any tournament, you're going to wipe out. Oh no, you don't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You just got to get better than 78 points, and you're going to jump back up in the top 15. So I mean, it's good run so far.
Wardrop had told me that if I had 2 more like tournaments that I could get 120 points out of them, that it should catapult me into top 10.
Yep.
But it's all fine and dandy, but like there's still plenty of time left in the season.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like it's fine to get there. It's holding that position that is always the hard part. As the players that are underneath me actually start to play more games as well. Right? Because there's some big names that are in the top 20 that only have 2 or 3 tournaments under their name, and they're sitting at 500 points. Like I think Polinsky's in there, and he's only played 3 games or 3 tournaments, and stuff like that.
He's got 4 right now. Okay. Actually, I'll give you some hope in that the majority of the people love you.
If I could be in the top 20 in Canada, good. I would be so over the moon. I think realistically, if I was top 25, I think that's a goal I can set for myself.
Yeah, I think you'd be quite happy with that. And the name of the show might be Average Homies, but like we said at the start of this, we try to have a good game. We try to do well. It's just not winning at all costs by any means.
Exactly.
It's trying to be a good opponent, be a good hobby, but also do well at what we put our minds to. Exactly. Welcome, Age of Canuck. Surprised to see you here. Come here often. Well, do you come here often? Is really the question, JP. Yeah, he's looking forward to seeing people in Edmonton at the GW Open because he knows all these names from Ontario. Because I talk about them, we talk about them on the show, but he's never met any of them, or he's met few of them. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Sean was also telling me that I think some of the big players like Team Canada isn't going to be at the GW Open unless they're living in the area. Because I guess Worlds is 1 or 2 weeks after, or they leave for, is it Spain Worlds, or right London to leave? Some it's they leave 1 or 2 weeks after the event itself. So they're not planning to, some of them are not planning to attend, which is sad. I mean, exactly. Okay, there we go.
It's sad, but it is what it is. I still think, honestly think we're going to get as much, or if not more, than last year for the numbers.
I agree with you very much. So yeah,
I think we're gonna now it's establishing itself as a routine event on the calendar, and people have people hopefully come to terms that they got to go to Edmonton to do it. It's not going to be in Toronto.
Yeah, like boo-hoo.
Yeah.
Get out of your city. That's fine.
Get out of your city. And it's a huge hall. Like, there's so much space.
It was a really good time last year. So much that I was able to overlook the fact that it was 8 rounds this year.
Yep. But we'll talk about that in our prep, because today's episode, we're going to talk about prepping for GW. And that list you talked about, it's designed specifically for problem sets like 8 rounds. Of Warhammer.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think we're going to transition into the main topic because we're just right there right now anyways. So we're talking about the GW Open today. So if for those of you who don't know, GW Open for both Warhammer 40K and Age of Sigmar and other game systems as well. I think there's a Catan championship going on there because it's tied to a game con. There's a Catan championship. I know Play on Tabletop is doing a King of the Colosseum. If you've never seen that format, it's actually quite entertaining. Reminds me of, you give me a look. So King of the Colosseum is 500-point armies, I believe. So familiar. And they've got this terrain set out where it's essentially a Colosseum. And there's like 2 or 3 objectives. And it's played with the core rule set, essentially. But then you have build restrictions. I think nothing more than toughness 9. So nothing more than a dreadnought. No vehicles, just dreadnought and blow. Okay. And then you go and you get like Friday night firefight levels of games in an afternoon because you just rip through. My local store here in Leominster plays it. And it's basically Friday night firefight, but with different rule sets.
I'm totally for that. That's so amazing. Yeah. So
we'll see it beside us at GW Open because they're going to run a tournament for it. It's going to be the first like big competitive tournament of that format.
That's cool.
Yeah. So anyway, lots of games. Game con. The one drawback, there's cons and pros. The con is you got to pay for the con pass, which is very expensive. But other than the money commitment, it's going to be a good time, I think. And we'll talk about the prep. So let's go through our points here. So what are we preparing? So I guess I'll kind of kick off here. I am between 2 armies right now. And I was waiting for the data slate because we know. So for those of you who are not tracking the way GW does balancing or rules, there's the balance day slate, or the balance scroll rather, for Sigmar that dropped this week is going to be valid until they release a new GHB. So we're probably not going to see any more huge tweaks. There'll be minor points changes, like when Daughters of Cain come out and Sylvaneth come out, their points will get adjusted. But we're not going to see this massive balancing before the GW Open. So I was waiting to see what would happen with that. I was kind of hoping that Hellsmith was going to get a rules change, but it didn't happen. So we got that from now until June. June will be a new GHB, but the GW Open is going to be on this GHB. It'll be the last hurrah for this GHB. So with me, Hellsmiths, we're TLDR, 2 minutes on it. I think GW didn't change the rules, so they still got demon points as per. All their core rule mechanics remain the same. No changes to that, but they dropped a lot of points. But the things they dropped points on are all infantry, and they're all the demon walkers. Essentially what it's pushing people towards, and a lot of the chatter is, things that are winning for Hellsmiths is that Army of Renown. That's all infantry, Duratar.
Yeah.
And I cannot be bothered to build 60 to 70 dwarves that are just, I'm not going to say they feel bad, but if you look at my name, it says Adverse Rot Sword. You look at 200 points of Rot Swords compared to it would be 180 now points for a reinforced Infernal Cohort. They're nowhere near the same in terms of output. And you're going to see that exponentially as you go through other armies, like Sylvaneth, Doc, all the new stuff, Lumineth, which barely got touched. So I think if you're going to play Hellsmiths, it's going to be a struggle bus, and you're just going to you're just at a disadvantage. If you do it, all the hats off to you. The G keeps going. I think G passed me, so he's number 2 in Canada now. He's close to number 1 because he's a diehard. He's going for it.
He dug his heels in. He said, "This is the army I'm playing. I don't care how bad they are. I'm playing them."
Yep, and there's going to be people like that, and like I say, more power to them. From my perspective, I'll read it out. A hint for the next season coming this summer. I think he means at the GW Open. I think we'll know before. Like last year, we knew what the GHB was going to. They were selling it last year at the Open.
Yeah. Well, it came out the day of, right?
Yeah. I think it'll be the same. Oh, it actually might be delayed now that I think about it, because 40K's 11th edition announcement said June release for 40K.
Gotcha.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they waited till like July 15th or whatever.
July, yeah. Which would make sense because, if they're doing an April War Scroll update, you do 3 months after that. Yep.
So I think Hellsmiths for me, it's just a non-starter competitively, because I want to, from my perspective, I want to be able to go into a game thinking like, I'm not completely off the back foot. I've got some play, which you do with Hellsmiths, but I don't think over 8 rounds you've got enough to do it, which is the problem set that I look at, right? For the next 3 months, I'm committing to getting ready for the GW Open so I can getting ready for 8 rounds. So I put that aside. I've been playing a lot of Zeech recently. A lot of Zeech. I went to a GT with it, went 2 and 3, learned a lot of cool tricks. I didn't even know the thing that they errated in the or they changed in the update. So I was like, well, no change to me, I guess. I only got better with full reality. But I found with Zeech, it's just like you have one thing, and once you play it once, and people will have played it once before Edmonton, you know the thing that's going to happen, and you can plan for the Zangor and Lightning, and you can plan for the Zangors on foot. And other than that, you're just a bunch of like 6-up save demons or whatever, humans running around trying to score points. So potentially, and then today I played an old favorite, which is what I ran at the GW Open last year, Nurgle, and oh my God, these guys need a points adjustment. This is so crazy. It's nuts.
Yep.
I'm fitting 1 unit too many in there for sure. When I like, there's no thing where it's like, sorry, go on.
I was going to say how they survive. Like, it blows my mind when I saw the Megakin update and all I saw was green. And I'm like, what? How are they getting point reductions? This makes 0 sense to me. I think Rodigus was the only thing that got a point increase, and it was like an insignificant amount. Same with Eltharion. Like these 2 armies, how are they? Like, how did they dodge this? I was watching Rob the Honest Wargamer, and he had made the comment that it was, this War Scroll update was done 6 to 8 weeks ago. Like, they knew what it was, and the data that they had wasn't there for LRL and Megakin and Dot. It was basically just going to nerf the Flesh Eater courts, and they're like, look at my Monster Mash, look at my Bats list. So, like, we have to live with these not overpowered. We're going to have to live with these powerful units that are undercosted for the next 3 months.
Yeah, 100%. And JP put in the chat, he thinks they'll get a surprise update next month. I don't think so. I think GW is throwing her into neutral, and they're focusing on the next GHB release. They're focusing on 40K. The AOS team is focusing on getting everything lined up for 5th, because we're a year out from 5th, so stuff's got to go to the printers. We're seeing all the leaks on that stuff right now anyways. This is like, if Megakin, LRL, because here's the other thing, and Sabetti put it in the AOS Canada chat the other day, which is a valid point. If the Cities of Sigmar and all the books that are coming out, and Sylvaneth and Doc, when they relate the rules to the points, GW might have looked at it and be like, no, they're all the same power level. So there'll be at least 6 eco predators balancing each other out. And is that right? No, but like,
I agree with you. However, look at factions like Gloomspite Gits.
Oh my God.
That were in like sub 40% win rates.
Yeah.
And Fire Slayers and Seraphon, and they got like, again, no love. If anything, Seraphon got nerfed because of the auxiliary changes to auxiliary units, where it was like the one list that was doing well, which was the spamming of the spawns of Chotek. It can't happen now. So it's like I get it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I agree.
let's carry on.
So carrying on. So the long and short of that is that when I looked at it for prep, for like, okay, I have this goal. It is an 8-round event. I want to play an army that is slightly competitive, that gives me a chance to win. I want to play an army that can go 8 rounds and reduce my decision load, and then go from there. So that's like Hellsmiths dropped off, no. Seraphon, no. SPGL is a possibility, but right now I just feel that like OBR just preys on them, and there's so much OBR here because the 6-up ward going off the Blood Knights and going off the Wolves, like removing the ward, is just devastating to
That's fair.
SPGL.
Yeah, and I guess not being able to heal with triaxes.
Not being able to heal with triaxes, and then it's like I see a world in my mind's eye where I run SPGL, and I'm like, okay, I run into OBR. Great. I just can't heal, or I get my ward stripped. Oh, I ran into Megakin and Urkel. Great. Thanks, Rodigus. I can't recur.
Right.
Yep. So 2 of the top predators right now, I think, prey on SPGL. So I just kind of put that to the side as well. So I'm down to 2, and it's going to be some testing. We'll see how it goes. So that's the start of the journey in GW Open. Now over to you. Like, how do you approach looking at GW Open from a like army selection perspective?
Again, like I've said before, I looked at what armies do I like. We're 2 months out from the GW Open. When I made the decision I was going would have been what, like 2 weeks ago, and 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And at that point, I basically look at what armies do I currently have that are 80% plus painted. And my options right now would be Flesh Eater Courts, Slaves to Darkness, OBR, and I sold off most of my Stormcast, so it's just those 3 armies.
Yeah.
I don't particularly want to play OBR. I think that they're still in that like new phase where I think they're good, but they're only good against certain armies.
Yeah, everything I play.
the Flesh Eater Court army that I currently have is like I'd be running one of the armies of renown for the Summer Court King Feast. I don't know what it is. It's basically just knights, and I don't think it's very good. It's fun, but I don't think it's very good. And it left me with Slaves to Darkness. But knowing that this is going to be 8 rounds, my typical Dark Oath army is not going to work for me. Nope. I have a medical issue where I wouldn't make it to Sunday. The first like Friday and Saturday would drain so much energy out of me that I would not be able to make Sunday trying to move around 100 plus models for 5 games. So that's where the wheels started turning. And I came up with a list that has had 2 or 3 different iterations now, and I think I'm nailed in. Like the first iteration was just funny.
Yeah, it's funny, but too many Wilderfiends. Not enough team prints.
The one that I ended up taking to enter the battlefield was I'm playing this like Wilderfiend, this weird Dark Oath list where the one that I ended up taking to enter the battlefield was 2 War Queens, 3 Demon Princes, and 8 Wilderfiends. And it worked out to 2,000 points. And the current iteration of it that I've been playing a lot of has been 2 War Queens, 4 Demon Princes, and 6 Wilderfiends. And with the point drops of War Queens and the way auxiliaries now work, I think I'm changing it again so that I'm using Gunner with the Oathsworn and Singri, 4 Demon Princes and 6 Wilderfiends, but it gives me access to a wizard, and I've been having some success with it. I've been enjoying it. It's fun, and it's like 12 models. So that is what's the word I'm looking for? Like conducive to me playing 8 rounds because it's like not as exactly. It's not
it
a
takes off the
smooth
mental
brain.
load and the physical load.
The physical load, yes. The mental load is still there because there's a lot of stuff that sort of you need to think it through. It's not as smooth brain as I initially thought it was going to be.
Having played against it several times, because you only got so many things.
Exactly. But I think with the new changes to the Dark Oath Horde, you know, at first I was kind of like, I
was excited, and you're like, man, I'm like, no,
I like the 3+ roll because it doesn't cost CP, and it's like that. But I understand the consistency, but it just means different things for me. That's really
you
it.
just got to plan for it. But I will admit, like when you put when the balancing came out, I put in our group chat. I was like, yes, they changed it. It's not a roll. It's 1 CP. This is great for your list. And Matt was initially blasé about it. And but it's because when I played Matt's list, it's CP hungry, and it affects his economy that he has to think about, because he wants power throughs, he wants all outs, and he wants defenses.
Exactly.
And I need that cast, but very rare.
Yeah, like I'm not the list doesn't rely on the one wizard that it has.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like other hero can stand by a place of power and be like, I'm a wizard.
Exactly. Harry. Yeah. If I could build a list that had the 2 Dark Oath heroes, I would still build a list with no wizards if it worked out. But with the War Queens, the list came to like 1960, and my mental, it triggers me. I hate seeing that list point.
Yeah.
And it would give me 1 auxiliary unit as well, which, yeah, I mean, yeah, whatever.
DW doesn't like it. The big execs in Nottingham are like, nope. So JP mentions for him, it's either Daughters of Cain or Old Nurgle. I don't know what he means by Old Nurgle, because we're on New Nurgle. I think he means old models. But by the way, JP, like I'm about to do here this weekend, Blight Kings can be rebased on 32, and they look exactly, well, not exactly, but they're armored enough to pass as broadswords, like no problem. They're a dude that's corrupted, that's fat, and has a sword. You're good. Away you go. And then he says, unless I paint a Stormcast Dragon list, I've got one done. I don't want to go with a monster list, though. It won't be all that fun, I don't think, for me. Well, JP, here's my unsolicited advice for you. You brought it up. I watched the Season of War episode today, which had Doc versus the new Sylvaneth. And Doc is like even more Buffy and decision based now, because they're blood rights thing. So when they lose a model or they lose a unit on an objective, Marathi does something, or there's a bunch of like conditions. When it happens, they get to do something. But it's like a tree of options they can do. So it's like not only are you trying to figure out your buffs and send your like glass cannon witches everywhere, when stuff happens, you've got another decision to make on like how you're gonna like use that blood rights and stuff. It seems complicated. I mean, if you can pull it off, it seems fun. And if that's your jam, all the power to you. 8 rounds would be tough. 8 rounds would be super tough with that. I had a couple games already, have another one in a half hour. Well, let me know how it goes. Maybe I'll play it on TTS and see how it goes. But Nurgle is, I wouldn't say Nurgle is easy. The units make it easy sometimes, because it makes board control easy with Nurgle, JP. Because I find it's like I can put something in a position and be like, I don't got to worry about that for 2 turns. And now I'm going to worry about the fine detailed placing of my 1 or 2 things that are less durable, or going to go hunt down a hero or do tricks. I.e., put a big Rick Rot swords with a Lord of Plagues, and away you go. But all the best on your game, JP. Let me know how it goes. I am interested by the new Daughters of Cain. It's kind of like an inside joke in our house that I'll never like. Leo wants me to get it and play it, and I'm like, I don't want to paint 80 witch elves. No. Nope. So if 80 painted witch elves arrived at my house, I would do it. But other than that, it's probably not going to be likely. Going on to the things we're talking about, though, it gets a segue from it. So we talked about picking our armies. We talked about kind of like the mental or physical load that an 8-round event is going to take on someone. So let's transition to how we're going to deal with that, or what we're looking at dealing with that, because it's a real thing. And I think people, even for a 5-round event, like a normal GT, some people, if they're not used to it, underestimate just the amount of fucking strain it's going to put on your body to stand around all day at a table, especially if the tables aren't the right height to bend over at the table.
Yep.
And so, for me, a couple of tips and tricks that I've kind of learned over the years. Number one, the cart, the Canadian Tire cart. It's my Lord and Savior. It will carry, it's this specific cart. You've probably seen it if you've been to events. People drag their armies around on it.
Yep.
Black and red, drag your army around on it. It's perfect because whatever put away system you have, you can just put it on the cart, drag it around, and you can carry like snacks, water. I used it at GW Open last year. It was great. And then the last thing on that is water. I have this huge like Starbucks cup that I usually bring around to events, and I'm just constantly refilling water because you don't realize how much your body's using, because it's not like physical exertion, but you're still. It's funny because I wear my Apple Watch usually when I play.
I was just about to bring that up. Yeah.
It's just like max stress done, max stress done, because you're putting like a mental exertion on your body. And then kind of the last thing I will say, the rookie mistakes we made, which is I'll take the fault on this one. Last year, is we went up and down good old Highway 14 a couple times, which we're not going to do this year. But it was also because like our family hadn't seen Matt and we moved and stuff. We were trying to get it in. It wasn't great last year, but we made it work. And now we've realized the error of our ways. So I'd offer, like, if you're going to come into town and do this 3-day event, find a hotel that's relatively close to the thing. Find transport, whatever. There's a lot of like transport in Edmonton, Uber, taxi, whatever. But find a hotel or somewhere relatively close to the event, and then just kind of prepare to chill after every day. I mean, if you have the energy and you're 22 years old and you go out in town, by all means. But if you're an old person like me, like de-stress. I'm gonna go put on the Oilers in the Stanley Cup Finals, as they will be there again. And get some like noodle box or whatever and go from that. But I think that's a couple of key things like we figured out from last year. What do you think non-gaming related issues or plans you've got for this year?
Yep. I last year Pendleton had a little barbecue, and I'm fairly certain that he's doing it again this year. And that will be probably my social outing for that weekend. I have a friend who lives really close to the venue that I haven't seen in like 30 plus years. He moved to Hong Kong, and I think we're planning to get together, but it's not going to be hey, let's go out and party type. I mean, I'm not a party kid, but we'll probably do a dinner on the Saturday or Sunday night. And that'll be it. But because of the exertion that it causes physically and mentally, some people are built for it, right?
Yeah.
Some people are
just like gamers and they'll rock through it.
Yep. And they're like, they have the stamina of Gimli. Like, they just keep going. I am not one of those people. And I will need some downtime to decompress, because my social battery will be spent for a month after this event.
You're going into hiding for a month.
I probably will.
Yeah.
But I'm preparing myself for it as well. Having been last year, knowing that it's going to be that size, if not bigger, I can mentally prepare myself for it and kind of go for that.
Yeah, 100%. I think we covered so much on that. And on the Pendleton barbecue note, definitely going to try and hit that up again. I'm going to his team tournament here in 3 weeks. 2.5 weeks, whatever. Start of May. And if you're around the area and if you've got on AOS Discord, kind of look up that stuff. It's good to kind of get the community together. JP, our resident chatter here, has pretty much rallied the Northern Alberta community. He's in contact with the Southern Alberta community. We're going to try and make inroads there. And Saskatchewan, Manitoba, the MPO kind of the guys will be up. And we're actually on the Prairie Warhose podcast here. I'll give you a shout out, JP. He's going to do an episode on the Saskatchewan, Manitoba scene this weekend. So he's going to bring on players from Saskatchewan, Manitoba, talk about what are the major events on the calendar for there, what are their major things, etc. And then I think it'll be good because we'll have the Ontario crew coming out. Not the whole crew, because a lot of that Ontario crew is Team Canada as well. But like, there'll be key people from Ontario, and then hopefully we'll see some people from BC as well. Like, there's actually a guy, Will Reeves, that comes up from like Portland or Seattle. He's up on Washington State. I've seen him in a couple Edmonton events.
Nice.
It's gonna be pretty good. And then, so on the next bit, hobbying. What do we got to get done for this for hobbying? Me? I don't know, because it depends on what army I'm gonna. It depends on what army I'm gonna bring. If it's Zeech, I gotta build and paint the manifestations. And depending on what I'm doing, I gotta paint an Ogroid Thaumaturge and a Fate Master. But everything else is pretty much painted. I've got Zangors for days, for my 40K days, so like the Zangors are all taken care of, shards are taken care of. I painted everything up for that GT, so I'll be good there. If it's Nurgle, I've got to rebase the Rot Swords. So I've got, right now my list has either 20 Rot Swords or 30 Rot Swords, depending on which way I go with it. Got to rebase the Rot Swords. Got to build Gelgus Pust, the Demon Prince character from the Darkwater box. Build and paint him. And build and paint Belga, the Sith Switch, but everything else is painted, built. Some of it I have inherited from another army. That's for me. What do you need to get? I think you're pretty much like rounds complete, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. For me now, it would just be adding in those. Like I'm battle ready with my army. So it would be adding highlights, picking out the eyes, picking out the teeth, little things like that, which over the course of like 12 models, well, it's like if I do the Gunner build, Gunner and Oathsworn are fully painted. I've got 3 Wilder Fiends fully painted. So it would just be the Demon Princes and the remaining Wilder Fiends, 3 Wilder Fiends that I would just want to add that extra step to. And the Demon Princes themselves, I've been converting.
Yeah, we'll see those later.
I've got 2 base Demon Princes, and then I converted one, and I like the conversion so much that I ended up getting more of the bodies that I used for it. So I'll eventually have all 4 of the Demon Princes converted in that manner. I like the way they look better. But like, it's not a high priority for me. If I can't get it done, I'm not stressed about it. Like, I have the army, they're battle ready. I'm not anticipating on winning a best painted, especially after being last year and seeing the quality of the hobby from out west, because it is out of this world good.
It's high.
It's amazing. So like, that's not on my radar. And so it's basically just making sure that my models are painted. But like, I don't have manifestations to worry about. Well, if I take the Gunner build, I do, but they're painted. For me, it's going to be transportation of the models. With such a low model count, the transportation piece that I brought last year, it's too big. And so it'll just be trying to sort of re-envision what I need for transportation.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because they're a weird size too, because they're not like infantry size, but they're not full ass monster size. So
exactly.
Yep,
they're
yeah, you got probably one right there.
Yeah, they're a good 4 or 5 inches tall. So
yeah, they're no Kragnos, but they're no like dude either.
Right. Yep. Yep.
It's gonna be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. For for me, obviously, it's not the transport; it's the hobbying. But I think if I go Nurgle,
your track record on hobbying is like you paint an entire army in 3 weeks before an event if you need to.
Yeah,
so
that's
like
me.
I don't
Like,
think
it's
that
just kind of what I
you
do.
are. You're not concerned about the hobbying. It gets stressful, I imagine, but you get it done.
Yeah, I get it done, and it's just like the fucking Skaven there killed me.
Yeah. I remember that for LVO. Oh my god! Every day it was, oh look, I got 10 more. Oh look, yeah.
Kragnos and the Ironjaw's tower sucks. I can't fit them in my Army 732 bag. My friend, I took my Kragnos to Toronto through the airplane. And I'll tell you what you got to do. I don't know if you can do it the way your Kragnos is built.
Yep.
You got to essentially take it off its base and magnetize its legs to the rock to transport it. If you're going outside the local area, if you're going local area, it's whatever. But if you take his 3 contact points and put magnets on them and on the rock, but I warn you, when I drilled into the rock, it split the rock in half and I had to reglue it. You can transport Kragnos around. The Ironjaw's tower I don't own, so I don't know. It's probably pretty tall. How is it? Like, is it? I don't know, JP. Is that super required for the army? I don't know. Ironjaw's, JP. I wouldn't look past Ironjaws. If you got a good collection, like I wouldn't look past them. They got the buffs to their prayers with the plus damage, and I don't know what the other one was. It's their other good one where it lasts until the start of your next turn now, not just the end of turn is good.
Yeah, and their point reductions were all in the right spots too.
Yeah, I would.
Were they enough? No, but it's a good starting point for sure.
I have 5 brutes painted. And the rest aren't painted? How many Daughters of Cain do you have painted? So wait for that. Never get them all painted in time. I disagree. There's a way. I've painted you've got all your Daughters of Cain painted. There you go. Okay, so you're fine there. That's your
just hop into a hobby chat with us and every other day, and we'll just keep you motivated.
We'll get you there, JP. You hop in our hobby chats and on our Discord, you will be in there. No problem.
An hour here. Next thing you know, you're like, wow, I've got like 50 painted models. Let's go.
Where is it? Just a second, JP. I'm going to show you something.
Oh, I guess I'm supposed to keep talking.
No, it's fine. Here we go. It's GW Open adjacent because my kids got this for me at the GW Open last year, which is the Ironjaws Spearhead. Ironjaws love the slap chop.
Oh,
this guy took like 15, 20 minutes to paint after the slap chop was done. There's like 4 colors on him. He's good enough. I'd run that on a table and not be sad about it. Damn it, GP, you're gonna make me want to run Ironjaws. Stop talking about Ironjaws.
And the list spiraling has begun 2 months out.
I will give him that. He's so busy running tournaments now. He's organized. He did the league in December. He organized an RTT. He on the spot organized an RTT for this month, and he's got a lot of sponsorship on it. Like, I got a pig that's ready for Slapshot. Yeah. And he's running a GT in May, and then he's getting an RTT in July and a teams tournament in August. This guy is like super busy, and he's running his podcast, and he has a job and kids.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those.
Yeah,
kidding, I didn't.
I'm telling you, JP, you hop in the hobby chat, we'll get those pigs done.
Yep,
we'll get those. I would happily run 8 pigs, or whatever the points thing of pigs is. You could go 8 rounds with 8 pigs, no problem. Yep. Yeah. So that's we talked about the hobby. And so for there's 2 different ways here, right? And to the audience that's listening, you just got to go with, what I wouldn't say your limitations, but your style. Like Matt was saying, he wants to be comfortable enough that he's not rushed, that he's got enough to like you can pick at stuff and not being like weeks ahead of time trying to get it done, which is stressful. Whereas me, I'm like, not the pressure makes diamonds comment, but like I will just do it. I know I'm capable. I know I will put my head down and grind. And I'm not saying Matt won't, but that's not what he wants to do. Whereas me, I don't mind doing it occasionally. Like occasionally I'll be like, fine, I'll do this. Because in the deep, what is it? Where you like pain, masochistic?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the deep masochistic part of my brain. Sometimes I like it.
Yep. I don't mind painting a few models, but an entire army in like with the stress of knowing that I'm playing that army in 3 weeks, I won't do it. I don't mind, like I know at the end of LVO last year, I bought an entire FEC army, and I was so into painting them that I painted 2,000 points in like about 30 days, in about a month.
Yeah.
And then took them to a tournament, but I wasn't like, I have to have these guys done for the tournament.
Yeah.
Just happened out that I did it. But I do. I tend to be like, oh crap, I've got 3 days to paint 10 models. So this will be, aside from like last year for the Edmonton Open, my Stormcast were fully painted before I even went. So that was like, that wasn't an issue. And then this year, they're like I said, they're all battle ready. They're all painted, aside from just a couple of like my list might not be the same a month from now. I'm still sort of toying with like, I've got a good core. It's my flex. I've got about 220 points of flex that I'm trying to work out how I can be most efficient with it.
Yeah. It's like, it gives you flexibility, right? You have a core to build around, and you're like, I'll paint this unit. Okay, it'll take me 2-3 weeks. It's fine.
Exactly.
Whereas if you're painting 2,000 points, it's kind of like when you get to the end of the road, you get what you get. There's no flex.
Yep.
It just is what it is. And away you
exactly. Go. And then there's no time for play testing as well, which is a really important part that I hope we're going to touch on as well.
Yeah, I think we can just shift to that, because playtesting, like, there's a couple avenues. Obviously, we do not live in the same province anymore. We can't just wander down to insert gaming store's name here. Long Day One Gaming Store Ring. RIP, you were the best. The Alpha Strike. Can't wander down there anymore, but we can still get a game in on TTS, and TTS has its uses, I will say.
Yes.
So, like, TTS is not the end-all, be-all, nor does it scratch the itch most people have of physical, tactile rolling dice or talking to your opponent or seeing it. So TTS, like, I will prep with TTS. And like this week, Matt was kind enough to, what do you call it? Exposure therapy?
No, it's not exposure therapy. But for those that don't know, I have a deep hatred for Magakin. I have PTSD from playing against Steven, prepping for what last year's
Open. It's this time last year. It was just nonstop for months.
It was just the nonstop of, here's your 3+ save with your 5-up ward and the disease. And it was, oh, a unit died. Now they're diseased. Oh, they died. Now. So I have PTSD from it. I have a deep hatred for the army. And this week I was like, well, my theory behind it is that I'm going to play against it because I'm going to play against it. It's got the highest win rate. LRL and Magakin have the highest win rate in the game, the highest potential for going 5-0, and I'm going to play against them. So I better learn what I can and can't do against them. And it was the joke was that I sent a consent to Steven that his wife was confirming that it was, I am willing to put myself through this. I am of sane mind. I'm willing to do this. And I didn't flip the table.
No, he did flip the table. You won, didn't flip the table. It was a close game. Very good game. And you got to see some like you see the thing, I guess, that people should take away from it is even if you don't like playing against it, you need to see the break points. You need to see
Yep.
where stuff breaks. How much does it take to take down a 20
20 broadswords.
of broadswords with the tree behind them and the Lord of Plagues sitting behind that?
I don't know because I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, he got him down to 8, I think 8 or 6 by the end. But they essentially roamed the entire board. They went from north to south and back to south again by the time it was all over. But yeah, TTS is good for that. Like next week we're gonna play. I'm gonna play LRL for him because he'd like some practices listening to LRL. I haven't seen LRL. Not a lot of people play it out here. I think one guy plays it in Edmonton, like reliably, consistently. Mm-hmm. So honestly, I think my first time seeing it will be at the teams tournament for Edmonton if I get paired into it, or if it's at the GW Open. So I want to get some practice on it too. And what better way to practice than actually just playing the army? Taking it slow. And my advice to people out there too is if you're going to use TTS, go on SigDex. It's got all the rules of the army, so you don't need the Battle Tome. You don't need Wikipedia. Just get it on your phone app and take your time. Because the point is to see the rules in action. And if you don't get 5 rounds, that's fine. You get 2 or 3 turns, you can see what it does.
Yep.
Because we're going to see like the variants of the scriptures, the runes or whatever they are, the variants of X, Y, and Z. So TTS is good, but like, what are we going to do for in-person prep?
So Wardrop, he's really pushing to help me. So he's a top level player, and he's working on the Bloodthirster list right now, which is the four Thirsters in Scarbrand, and it's like it's mopping up out here. There's the last big tournament on the weekend. There was 4 people playing Blades of Corn, and 3 of them were Thirster spam, and they finished. So the 4 Blades of Corn players finished in the top 6. Jeez. And it was like I can't remember how many people were at the tournament, but it's really good. So yeah.
It's good to get good practice against it, but someone will explain it to you too, right? That's kind of the benefit of the person is like you can take the time to explain it, but you can see there's a value to seeing face to face because you can see like, and this is not gamesmanship, but you can see when your opponent is surprised, and then you can be like, okay, this is why that happened, or you can explain to them. Whereas on TTS, something happens and you're just like, why? Because you don't see the other person's. You can hear it in the voice sometimes, but like you don't see the other person's reaction, and then you can't get into that conversation about like why did that happen? Why did this thing go the way it went? Or even explaining through it. For me, I'm gonna commit. When I commit to a faction, I stop dilly-dallying this weekend. I'm probably just gonna list thrash for the next 48 to 72 hours. Our Facebook chat will just be spam. One day it's not even going to be any of those 2 armies. And then I will commit to it. Whatever it is, it will be committed to. And then I'm just going to go nonstop. But I've got an RTT at the end of the month. JP's running. It's going to be great. Let me just take a look. I'll give him props because he's getting attendance now, which is unusual for here. Like when I first moved to Edmonton, the RTTs, they'd run every month. Taps, you get like 8 people. That'd be kind of the average. Maybe a big one would be 12. And he's got my events. Corn Showers brings golf flowers. He's got 11 people signed up. And I know there's a couple that are not signed up, but will be probably because they're talking in the chat. Yeah. 11 people, a variety of stuff. So I got an RTT end of the month. I've got a teams tournament. Hopefully I can deconflict with because I'm kind of a ringer in the teams tournament. And by ringer, I mean just a dude to fill in that they were like, hey, maybe you would like to come play with us, because it's the name of the team is Abandoned by the Suns currently on our Discord chat. because there was 2 guys that were going to play with their 2 sons, but their 2
Okay.
sons had sports commitments or some other
Gotcha.
commitments, so they couldn't play, and they didn't want to back out of the teams tournament. So they asked for a couple fill-ins. So I'm going to fill in that. We'll see if I get to play the army I want to play because there is some overlap. One of them plays each. I think one of them plays Gits. I'm not going to play Gits probably. I wish Gits were better. I wish that I was so excited because for anyone that looked at the balance, they did spearhead changes, and I misread them as if they were like real Gits changes, which I thought was totally
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
because they're like the changes they made were the wolves get strike first all the time if they charge. Fine. They don't do any damage. Doesn't matter. Like they can spike, which is a Gits thing. Like 1 out of 5 activations, they'll spike and roll a bunch of 4s and do a bunch of damage. But the other 3 activations, they'll kill something and get killed in return. And then the other change they did was the Snarl boss on a 3-up hands out more rend to a wolf unit. I was like, also reasonable. Why can't I have this in real game? Why must this be in Spearhead? So probably not Gits. Anyway, that's off topic. But I got that, and then I got GT at the end of May. So 2 weeks before the GW Open, I got GT. And JP is marketing it as essentially a prep for the Edmonton Open. And he's got currently 21 signed up out of 32 spots.
So what you're saying is I just need to come out a week early.
This is 2 weeks early, sadly.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, you can stay in my house as long as you want. I don't care. I'm not sure.
I think that someone in this household might have a problem with that.
Yeah, I'm not sure how your significant other would feel about that, but so I got a bunch of events essentially. I will get in-person stuff too. But I think we've thrashed around how we're going to get ready for it.
Yes.
Let's go to hobby time. All right.
Hobby time. Excellent.
Ooh, that's the first one. The next 3 are going to be all you, so I'll leave you to work through these.
Okay. So that was for the ETB tournament. I had ordered 5 Wilder Fiends from GW. They arrived on the Wednesday before the tournament. So I painted these guys up in 3 days. They're really easy models to paint. And as you can see, they're just battle ready. They have a contrast, some dry brushing. I picked out the details, but there's no highlights or anything like that on them. But they are battle ready. I did end up quote unquote converting these. And by that means I just put different heads on them. The Demon Prince boxes have a variety of heads, and I just ended up putting them on. A little bit of green stuff or epoxy sculpt because they don't fit perfectly, but I did that. And then, so you can see, that's a really bad picture. There we go. That was the army that I ended up taking. The Demon Prince in the center there, that's a Vengo Lord that I converted up. I really liked how it turned out. They are very, I really liked how they turned out. I've got another one that I'm working on my table here, and this guy just doesn't have wings. And I have one more Vengo Lord coming to me. So, yeah, like I had said, if I can get them painted, then great. And if not, then I'm not worried about it. But yeah, that was basically, I painted that Demon Prince probably within the past 2 weeks. Actually, it's funny. I painted the majority of that army in the past 2 weeks. I had 3 Wilder Fiends and the 2 War Queens painted. Everything else has been done recently.
Nice. For me, I've done 5 Hellsmiths in Infernal Cohort. When I get back from my taskings, I kind of have some time off usually. So I just opened with a couple Hellsmiths, painting, hoping, wishing, praying for the balanced day slate to give me what I want, and it didn't. Ironically, I was painting infantry, but just painting that to kind of get there. I've been doing a couple side projects because I've been playing 40K here, just kind of being able to get out and roll dice. It's just there's no Age of Sigmar near me, so I will go if I want to roll the dice, feel the itch. Paint 40K. This is kind of actually a funny story for Matt. I'm painting this thing right now. See if he remembers that.
Oh, yes, I do.
From the Indominus box 3 years later, 3 years already, which is crazy. And I'll probably, the next episode, we're going to see some progress because I'm just going to be like, this is the thing. We're on to it.
Gangbusters.
So, gangbusters, nothing for now, but it could be. We'll see. With that, I think we're kind of ready to wrap this thing up. Any closing remarks or anything you want to talk about, Dan?
Nope. I think this event that's coming up being like the major event that I'm attending this year, I'm going to focus on it. My goal, realistically speaking, if I could go 4-4, I'd be really happy. If I could go 2-1 in the staging pod,
the staging pod, and then
and then go like 2-3 in the GT, I would be really happy with that. But if I can, I think my main goal is to go 2-1 in the staging pod. And that's sort of my main goal. If I go 4-4 overall, I'm pretty happy. But my path to getting that 4-4, I think, is pretty specific. Like if I go 0-3 and then go 4-1, it won't feel as good to me as a 2-1, 2-3.
Yeah, I think that's a good goal. Like that's a great goal to strive for, because for those who aren't tracking comments here, 0-3 and 5-0.
I mean, I know it might. When I was playing golf, my dad always said there's no pictures on a scorecard, so I guess that's a thing, right?
That's true. 10 on one hole, ace on the other, or 0-1 on the other.
Exactly.
But I mean, I get it though. Like, I think that's the kind of I'm going to aim for that as well. I haven't thought about it too much, to be honest, but I think for me that's also a reasonable, like, I've done really, really well, and this is good for me, because the 2-1 is like I consistently get it around here. And if you go to a 3-round event, I'll get 2-1, 1-2, more 2-1 on nowadays, but and then from there, who knows? Like you kind of get, like Matt alluded to, you do 3 games, then you get put into a pod, and you play 5 games out of your pod, and that determines kind of the shuffle where everything lands. But you're always going to be playing from game 4 onwards. You're always going to be playing someone that started the tournament the exact same way as you, which is novel. Yes. I've never done this before. It's kind of cool. I mean, it's going to be a slog for 8 games, but it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out, because it'll be interesting to see, I think, regardless of whatever pod you get put into, whatever record you get put into, it'll be interesting to see if like that is the respective quality or like gamesmanship or level. I'm not trying to be like rude about it, but like, is that reflective as you go through the rest of your games? Is like, did the last 5 games reflect of what you would expect from that in an RTT? Or do you run into people that are like, they just had a bad day, and they're just like, wham.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think it's going to be interesting. So for me as well, I kind of closing remarks on this. I guess everyone's going to see it as we prepare for it in the next couple of months. A lot of, we're not going to focus on it every episode, but we'll be talking about pieces of it. For me as well is the major event of the year for me. Well, it's like the biggest one. And then I have one in August, but that's more of a trip and just kind of have fun. Because also for me, I'm going to be moving for work, but my family's going to be staying. So my games will now become weekday games in Edmonton. And it'll be very rare that I'm going to go to an event over the next 2 years. Like when I go to an event, it's going to be planned like 2 months in advance. It won't be just me picking up and getting in the truck, because I'll be back at my house every weekend instead of being where the tournaments are. Hanging out with family. So this would be like the last, not big event, but I think it's going to be the big event of 4th edition for me, other than LVO, which we did, which was fun. A great trip. It was a good time. But this will be, I think competitively, this will be kind of like the thing. Yeah,
I guess because next year,
new edition. I don't know how it's going to shake out.
We'll see, and then the big event that we're all planning to go as a group is in September, I believe. So
it'll be Age of Sigmar: The Last World.
That's right.
And I'll be playing not Cathay, right? Oh man, that is for another time. All right, I think that's kind of everything we got. So
Yeah.
we can wrap it there. If you've joined us and you've listened this far, thank you. We appreciate it, and we'd love to get engaged in conversation with you. So leave some comments. Pop in on the chat when you can, and we'll try and answer them back. As always, thanks to JP for joining us, playing along, giving us some questions, and leave the last word to Matt.
Yeah, thanks, JP. It's always a pleasure. I can't wait to meet you face to face at the Open. And stay average, everybody.